Howdy, hi. It is Do Your Job Sports College Basketball Picks and Predictions for Thursday, March 27th, 2025. We're looking at the best bets of the day. Let's get into the video. All right, so first things first, we have to recap not yesterday's results, but 2 days ago results. We go 4-1 on the day, bringing our season record to 469 and 439. So I'm going to recap these real quick, then we'll get on to the picks for tomorrow. So we hit 4-0 on our spreads, then went 0-1 on the over-unders. First game, Chattanooga Mocs, we had them plus 3.5. Forget the plus 3.5, they hit on the shmoney line, 67-65 win over Bradley. They really should have won by a lot more. They dominated the boards, they dominated the turnover battle, they just couldn't put the ball in the hoop. Chattanooga 41% from the field, Bradley 54% from the field, and Chattanooga won by 2. The Mocs had 9 offensive rebounds, Bradley only had 2. The Mocs had 5 turnovers, Bradley had 12 turnovers. So they were the better team, they just almost choked this game away at the end, but they get her done. We then had North Texas plus 1.5 in another really close game against Oklahoma State. North Texas wins this one 61-59. This was always going to be close. Neither team really played that well. North Texas 38% from the field, Oklahoma State 42% from the field, but both teams struggle massively from the free throw line, 67% and 56% from the charity stripe. Both teams combined to turn it over 34 times. That is almost 1 a minute. That is abhorrent. We then had Incarnate Word plus 6.5. I thought this was going to hit on the money line, and then they almost didn't cover the spread. They lose the game by 5, despite being up 3 at halftime. They were up 2 with 2 minutes left, and they lost by 5. If this spread wouldn't have hit, this would have been one of the worst beats of the year, because this was a one-possession game the entire way. We then had Cleveland State, who somehow managed to cover minus 4.5. This is basically almost the exact thing as the Incarnate Word game, but FGCU doesn't cover as Cleveland State wins by 7. This game was tied with 1 minute and 40 seconds left. Cleveland State wins by 7 because of free throws and FGCU not being able to make a 3, going 5 of 16 from deep. So that's our 4 wins. Our loser was Bradley and Chattanooga over 150.5. This one never stood a shot. Too many turnovers. Neither team could shoot the ball from deep, and they go 65% from the free throw line. So that is how we go 4-1. Let's get on to the picks for tomorrow. Game number 1, it is BYU and Alabama. You got the Mormons who only drink soda pop in Alabama, where you can legally marry your sister. Kind of the opposite of worlds coming together. Grant Nelson healthy again, back playing starting minutes for Alabama. I don't think BYU is going to be able to keep up physically and with the pace that Bama's going to play. Give me Roll Tide. Give me Nick Saban somewhere in the stadium. Alabama wins by 100. BYU 26-9 on the year. They've beaten 2 really good teams, VCU out of the A-10 and then Wisconsin, obviously, from the Big Ten. In their first 2 games, they score 81 points per contest, played a bottom 150 pace. They do shoot at 48% from the field, however, and they make 11 three-pointers a game. So if they get hot from beyond the arc, Alabama might run into some problems. They do get dominated on the boards here, going up against a Bama team who's one of the best rebounding teams in the country. Going to be interesting to see what happens underneath. Alabama 27-8 on the year. They beat Robert Morris in the first round, then St. Mary's in the round of 32. They score 91 points a game, play at the fastest pace in the country. In the first round, they looked rough against Robert Morris. I think they won by maybe 8 or 9. But with Grant Nelson healthy and the big man down low back, they kind of took a shit on St. Mary's. They won by 14, but that really wasn't indicative of how the game went. That was like a 20-point game based on how well they were playing. They played defense really well with him back in the lineup. They got more size down low with him back. He may look like a scrawny white kid, but that dude's got some muscle to him. He's like 6'10", 235 pounds. He's a beefy motherfucker. So I'm going to take Bama minus the 5.5. And obviously I have to rock the over. It's a big number, but it's a big number for a reason. Give me the over 175.5. Next game, you got the Terps and the Gators. I'm going to take Maryland plus a 6.5. This is one I don't really like. This will probably be my lowest wager of the day between all 4 games. Could I see Florida absolutely laying belt to ass? Yes. But I can't lay 6.5 against the Maryland team who's playing really good basketball. So if Maryland can keep Florida off of the boards, I think they stand a chance to win this game. In their first 2 rounds, Maryland kicked the shit out of Grand Canyon and then obviously had the buzzer beater win from Derek Queen against Colorado State. They score 81 points a game, played a top 100 pace, shoot it 47% from the field. They make 8 3-pointers a game. Their defense is really good, ranked 9th in the country. They need to lock it down if they want to have a shot here. Florida, they beat the tar out of Norfolk State, and then they barely squeaked by a win against UConn by 2 points. Although, granted, that was kind of like a 10-point game the entire way through in the second half. Then Liam McNeil had just scored like 8 points in 10 seconds. Anyway, they score 85 a game. They played a top 75 pace. They do win most of the statistical battles here. So if you're betting Maryland, just kind of shield your eyes and place the bet. Their defense is also top 30. This team is really good. I mean, this is a national title contender. So I don't love betting against them. But I think 6.5 is too much here. I do think Florida wins. Give me Florida by 3. Maryland covers 6.5. Next game we got, I am going with Duke. Once again, Arizona, Blue Devils. I'm going to take the Blue Devils minus the 9.5. Duke, they're a matchup nightmare for basically every single team in the country. You're not going to beat their size. You're not going to beat their youth. Yes, they're young, but they're also just good as shit. So I'm not fading them, because they've been dog walking every single team they've played. Arizona beat Akron in the first round. If I recall correctly, they absolutely stomped Akron because I had Akron plus, I think, 14.5, and they lost by like 30. Then they won in a close game against Oregon. So 2 impressive wins. Those are 2 good teams. They score 82 points a game, played a top 75 pace, shoot it 47% from the field. They only make 7 3-pointers a game, which against a Duke team that likes to chuck it from deep might be a bit of a problem. They're top 20 in rebounding. They do struggle with turnovers, though, coughing up 11 times a game. That's going to be a problem against a Duke Blue Devils defense that is really good. Duke, they beat the Mount St. Mary's team in the first round. Then they dog-walked Baylor in the second round. They score 83 points a game, played a bottom 100 pace, shoot it 49% from the field. Their defense, top 5 in the country. I think it's ranked 3rd. They've been in extra lockdown mode, holding Mount St. Mary's to, I want to say like 50, and then Baylor to, I think, 66. It's win or go home. Their defense is going to be more on point. Cooper Flagg, I think he goes for 30. They don't really have anyone who can guard him physically. It's kind of tough to guard Cooper Flagg. Dude's 6'9", 230 pounds, and he's athletic as shit. So good luck stopping that. Final game, we are fading Arkansas. I think they are done. It's Woo Pigs, Texas Tech. I'm going to take the Red Raiders minus the 5.5. What Coach Calipari has done in his first year has been very impressive. I think it ends here, though. Texas Tech, they beat UNCW and Drake in their first 2 rounds. This is their first really, really tough opponent. They're great on defense. I think they ramp it up. Arkansas has already had 2 crazy wins, beating Kansas in the round of 64 and then St. John's in the round of 32. Great first year. It now ends. They average 76 a game, played a top 75 pace, and shoot it 46% from the field. They get dominated in literally every single stat, but I don't really think you can look into that too much just based on how injured Arkansas was for the first 3 quarters of the season. They are now fully healthy. So fully healthy, they're a different team. Even with that said, though, Boogie Flang can only do too much. Texas Tech is about to fuck them up. The Red Raiders, they won their first game by 10 against UNC Wilmington and then 13 against Drake. They played a bottom 100 pace, shoot it 47% from the field. They make 10 threes a game, and they are great at keeping the ball in their own possession. They only turn it over, they're ranked 7th in turnovers per game. I like their coach with McCasland. I think he's really good. Give me the Big 12, Texas Tech, minus the 5.5. All right, that is going to do it for me in this video. I appreciate y'all tuning in and watching, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.